Hi, I'm Aisha Curry, and this is Everything I Eat in a Day. The first thing I typically do when I wake up is check my baby monitor. Cannon's 2 years old, and so I'm still a petrified mom. So I always wake up and check the camera and see if he's awake yet. Then I check my Bible app on my phone, and then it's time to get the coffee going. So the first thing I eat in the morning is typically that morning cup of coffee. If I'm intermittent fasting, I'll do it with a little bit of coconut oil, grass-fed butter, and some MCT oil, which is for your brain fuel and so that you can function. I'll steep some super strong coffee and blend it all together, and I'll have that if I'm intermittent fasting. If I'm not, I just take my coffee with a little bit of your classic French vanilla coffee mate in it. I love that stuff. If I'm eating breakfast, which is usually on the weekends, I love a good smoked salmon scramble. It's something that I put in my first cookbook, The Seasoned Life, and I still eat it to this day. It's yummy, slow scrambled eggs with a little bit of dill in them, salt, pepper. I toss in the smoked salmon right at the end so that it cooks through with some corn and shallot, and I just love that stuff. There's only one breakfast I could think of that's better than that, and that is your traditional ackee and saltfish breakfast with fried dumplings. So it's just this salted cod that you soak overnight, and you fry it up with onions and peppers, put in the canned ackee, and then make some little fried dumplings. That's just like flour, water, and a bit of salt fried in oil, and side of plantain fried on the side. You're eating really good. I feel like in my life, like no 2 days are the same, but it usually revolves around getting the kids ready if they're in school for the day, getting them set up on their Zoom school. Then I head into checking my emails. While I'm checking my emails, I usually like to drink a big 32-ounce cup of hot water. I love hot water. I sip on it throughout the day. I'm not a huge fan of ice water. I don't know why. I just love good hot water. It's the way that I get my water in throughout the day. So for me, I really struggle with lunch. Sometimes I'm filming, like today. I make sure that the kids are fed and that they have lunch, and then sometimes I slip off and forget to have lunch. But if I am having lunch, it's usually post-workout, and I'm having some sort of arugula or spinach salad with a seared protein on the side. Some shrimp or tuna or seared salmon. I love a good poppy seed dressing on my salad and a little bit of red onions in there, dash of salt and pepper, alongside some sort of chocolate protein shake. I try my best to find time to work out, especially lately. Fitness wasn't really a part of my lifestyle, and I'd say the past year and a half, post having all of my kids, it's really become a staple for me, and it helps me have mental clarity. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. I find that I'm happier when I work out. And so I do try to work out at least 5 days a week, whether it's riding my Peloton bike or doing some sort of Fitbit workout, golfing, paddleboarding. I'm always trying to do something these days, so it's very important to me. I am not a huge snacker at all, but if I do, I feel like I gravitate towards banana chips. My family's probably laughing watching this right now because I go through banana chips like crazy. If not that, I would say carrot sticks or cucumbers. I try and keep my snacking pretty healthy these days. My favorite food city, lucky enough, has to be San Francisco. I feel like it's a city where I became an adult. I grew into myself, and I was so blessed and fortunate to be surrounded by beautiful produce and beautiful farms and local and sustainable fish markets and just the most beautiful food you could imagine. Not to mention the restaurants. I have my restaurant in San Francisco, International Smoke, and I just love the fact that you can go to a different place every single night and experience something new and fresh and innovative and fun. I love San Francisco for food. If I had to choose a second spot, it would be Toronto, just because that's where I grew up, and it's an incredible melting pot of so many different cultures. So on one block, on the corner, there might be an Indian restaurant that's just so incredible, and 3 doors down, there might be a Jamaican spot, an Ethiopian spot, a Chinese spot, you name it, it's there. And I just love that about Toronto. My kids' favorite meal, so they're very different. They all have very different palates. Cannon, who's 2, he would definitely say mac and cheese. Ryan, my 5-year-old, she would say oysters on the half shell. That is not a joke. She requested them for her 5th birthday and slurped them down. We had to order more. And then Riley, I would say Riley would pick pizza or Chinese food. She loves some Chinese food. And luckily I've come up with a few recipes to be able to cook it at home and have at-home Chinese takeout, so we're not always ordering in. My absolute favorite meal to cook is oxtail, rice and peas, and fried plantain. Again, I'm Jamaican. That is my heritage. That is the food that I grew up with, and it just brings me so much comfort and joy when I make it. I live in the Bay Area, all the way across from where my grandma lives in Toronto, about as far as I could get with staying in the continent. And so I love to just make oxtail, rice and peas, fried plantain, because it reminds me of my family and just makes me feel like I'm close to them. And it's just so darn delicious. I can't get enough of it. So I typically like to eat dinner around 7, right before the kids go to bed. So we get them around the table, we check in with each other, see how our day was going. Dinner for us these days looks fast, simple, and easy. It's why I've loved working on my new cookbook, The Full Plate, so much, because it's filled with just quick, easy dinner recipes, everything from 20-minute sheet pan dinners to pastas to a quick and simple steak dinner. You name it, it's in there, and it's really a very good reflection of how my life is right now. Really, that's where my focus is when it comes to preparing the meal for my family. It's not breakfast, it's not lunch, it's definitely dinner, because that's the time I know we're gonna get to sit around the table together. I am definitely a cocktail girl. I love whiskey sours, it's my drink of choice. I love a good margarita, and I just love it. A good mezcal marg with maple syrup. It's that smoky sweet, it's so perfect. And if I'm not doing hard liquor or cocktail, I'm usually doing a big, bold, red cab. I love cab. I actually make a cab, Domaine Curry Femme 31, and I've just fallen in love with wine over the years. It's so funny, when I turned 21 and I was able to have my first, little bit of drinks, I didn't like anything. But it's true, like your palate for wine really does develop over time, and now I can't even drink like the Moscatos and the Rieslings, all that sweet wine, the dessert wines is not my thing. I'm a big, bold cab type of girl. The last key little thing to me reaching my best fitness goals is probably eliminating the late night snacking, and that's just something I have not been able to shake. I love ketchup chips. I'm Canadian, and so like ketchup chips or all dressed chips are my jam. If it's not that, it's usually some type of donut. And this isn't every night. This is just like maybe once or twice a week. We get those cravings. We've had a great night, had a little bit of wine, got into a family card game, and donuts get ordered, and I can't help myself. I can't shake it. I'll get there someday. All right, guys, I'm Aisha Curry, and that is everything I eat in a day. Be sure to check out my new cookbook, The Full Plate, on stands now.